Well, good evening everybody and welcome back to another review. Today I have two cigars I'm going to decide from here momentarily, but a couple things before we start. Yesterday we reviewed the Rocky Patel new Emerald series and everybody seems to be enjoying that. I've yet to decide what cigar we're smoking today, but I'm going to do my best to decide right now. I have one cigar by El Septimo and one cigar by Aganorsa Leaf. The one from Aganorsa Leaf is the Rare Leaf Reserve. I got this one a hot minute ago. This one probably is about 2 years of age in my humidor. And then I think I'm probably going to smoke this one, but the other option is the El Septimo Emperor Alexander. Really like that work on that. But considering we haven't finished the Gilgamesh collection from El Septimo, I think I'm going to put that to the side and review the Aganorsa Leaf Rare Leaf Reserve. So, on that note, we're going to be reviewing the Aganorsa Leaf Rare Leaf Reserve in a 6x52 ring gauge Toro. That is a chunky stick, especially for a Toro. It almost looks like a Toro Extra. Let's see. Price labels covering it up. I guess it doesn't have any of that stuff on there. Alright, there are the bands. Kind of see it. Very nice pack, and a really good looking triple cap. Definitely a toothy cigar, couple bumps throughout here, lots of prominent veins. Firm pack all the way through. Fruity smell on the foot. And I'd say a little bit of a roasted, I want to say almond. Like a sweet almond. Smells nice. Alrighty. Let's see what we're working with. I've smoked one Aganorsa Leaf in my history of smoking cigars, and I do not know what it was. However, it was pretty tasty from what I can remember. Ended up crown cutting it. I tend to enjoy good crown cut. Definitely a heavy pack. Taking a second to get lit here again. Yeah, last night, if you watched last night's video, I reviewed the Rocky Patel Emerald series, as I had said in the beginning of the video. Pretty good cigar. Nothing too crazy, though. To me, it just smoked like a mix of cigars. It was like the mix of the ALR 2nd edition and then the Decade is what it tasted like to me. Nothing too complex. For $10, it was pretty solid. Definitely wouldn't recommend a box, but if you enjoy Rocky Patel products, by all means grab one if you see them. They are a newer cigar. I think they just got released a couple weeks ago or something like that. Slight breeze coming from the garage door, but shouldn't be an issue. And my lighter is low on gas. Please don't run out. Well, I gotta find a lighter. No gas. Let's see here. This is a nice lighter. I've never used this one, but it's a Cohiba DuPont. Pretty sweet. Alright, this one's got gas. Foot looks good enough to me. Wow. Off those few puffs, very minimal pepper, just a light white pepper spice on the back of the palate. Very smooth smoke texture, effortless draw. It's very creamy so far. Thin and wispy smoke texture, excellent aroma off this foot there. Smoke smells very nice, it's light. Yeah, definitely lots of white and possibly pink pepper along with that cream and then a little bit of vanilla on there as well. So far so good. Rare Leaf Reserve. Nicaraguan Puro. Looks like a solid stick. Heavily packed. Can't go wrong with that. Yeah, like I said, I picked this up about 2 years ago from the beach for $12.80. That is the price on those. And so far, definitely enjoying the stick, and we'll see how it goes into the second, third. Definitely hang around for that. And hang around towards the end of the video. I have a couple things I have to make announcements on, and just a couple, you know, little news things, as I like to call it. So hang around for the second, third, and we will see you there shortly. Alrighty, we are now in the second, third of the Aganorsa Leaf, Rare Leaf Reserve. Here's a little bit of a better picture of the cigar. And I have to say, I am thoroughly impressed with this cigar. Like I said, the last time I had Aganorsa Leaf was probably in 2022, and it was just a single cigar. Somebody just gave it to me. I think I was playing golf, and I just kind of smoked it and didn't think much of it. But this cigar so far is smoking fantastic. It is very, very, very good. Lots of white smoke. There's what the ash and the burn line's looking like. Burn line is pretty fantastic. As for tasting notes, I am getting a lot of roasted coffee with that same creaminess. A little bit of vanilla. Very, very, very subtle white pepper spice on the back of the palate. And lots of thick white smoke as well. It's very, I'd say it's medium to full, pushing medium before full. Very long on the palate, but the smoke in the body of the cigar is definitely medium. The smoke texture is definitely changing from what was thin and wispy to now almost thick to syrupy. Definitely fully coats the palate and really gives you a really good understanding of the taste and what this cigar has to offer. Like I said, I think price point was either $11.90 or $12.90 in this cigar. I just called my local cigar shop to see if they still have these, and they do. I will be getting a box of these. They are fantastic so far. A couple quick things to note. This is definitely... Why is the camera like this? I'll fix the camera. This is definitely a slow smoker. I've been smoking at this now for going on probably 35 to 40 minutes, and I'm just approaching the second, third. It is heavily packed. It is very heavily packed, and given the fact that this is a Nicaraguan Puro, I'm actually very impressed, because most Nicaraguan cigars have that same just classic tobacco of a Nicaraguan cigar. To me, this smokes like a Dominican with a, I'd say Dominican with an Ecuadorian wrapper is what it tastes like to me. I'll look it up and get the specifications, but it just says it's Estelle Nicaragua, and I believe it's a Nicaraguan Puro, but it might have something different in it. But it is so far a very good cigar, and I have not had an issue with it. It stays lit for quite some time. I ran outside real quick and did something for about 5 or so minutes. I came back and I didn't even have to relight it. Lit right up real quick. Definitely getting a little bit of a nut note on there as well. I'd say almost like a cashew note, like I smelt on the wrapper. I'd say a little bit of cashew, and then like a very creamy almond, almost like an almond milk is what I'm tasting. I think that's what's giving it that creamy note to it. But I think that's going to do it for the second, third. I'm going to go smoke this down to the final third. I definitely cut a little bit short of the first third, and I'm now getting into the second third. So if anything dramatically changes, I will record a second part of the second third before we get to the final third. But just putting that in there. I will see you guys in either the second and a half third or the final third. So hang in there, see you there shortly. Alrighty, we are now definitely in the final third. Didn't do the 2.5 because I didn't feel a need. So we definitely have made quite a change from third to third, and I like that. I love when cigars do that. I love when there's a prominent change in a cigar. So what we've changed from to what we are now, we went from very light, almost I'd say heavy white to pink pepper, and that creamy almond note I was describing. And then in the second third, which was by far probably the best part, we had tons of cream, subtle white pepper, and then just all those really good notes I talked about. As we get into the final third, now that I'm in the final third, the spice is starting to kick up, which is fine. It's not like a powerful chili spice, it's just like a warm pepper spice. The cigar has become more savory more than it has sweet like it previously was. No complaints, still very good. Excuse me. Couple quick things to note here before I give you my final score here. The burn line is ever so slightly wonky. If I really want to be picky, that's what we're working with. It is not bad, but if contributes in the final score, I can't, say this cigar was great and it has the worst burn line. Just have to be truthful. I have not had to relight it once. I haven't had to touch it up once. Also, I have been getting so much smoke out of this cigar, it fogs up my cigar lounge in here, and the fans can barely keep up with it, and I'm just smoking by myself. So tons of smoke. We have definitely went from thin and wispy, I mean very, very thin and wispy, to medium in the second third, to heavy, thick, syrupy smoke now. Nothing wrong with that. I prefer a cigar that gives off a lot of smoke. I really enjoy that. Coming at you with my final score now. Burn line and construction, 9.5. I give it a 9.5 because the ash was slightly flaky and would not hold an ash properly. The burn line was also ever so slightly wonky. As for pre-light cold draw and everything, the cold draw was perfect, and the smell of the cigar before it was lit was also very pleasant. Upon lighting, I had no issues with combustion throughout the cigar. It stayed lit properly, hence the reason I'm giving that part a 10. As for tasting notes and characteristics, it most certainly gets a 10. This was definitely complex, and I really enjoyed it, really liked it. And hitting you with my final score now, I'm giving this cigar a 9.5 out of 10. I have definitely really enjoyed this stick, and I will see them, when I see them in a shop, I'll certainly pick one up. Probably going to be one of my go-to smokes now. Once again, this is the Aganorsa Leaf Rare Leaf Reserve. MSRP is anywhere from $10 to $15 depending on ring gauge and size. I think that's going to do it for today's video. I did pick up a couple cigars from Cigars International at my location near me. I picked up I won't say, I'll make it a surprise, but I picked up about 5 or 4 different cigars that I plan to review here in the upcoming weeks. Also, if you saw the short from yesterday, we are going to continue the Gilgamesh collection from El Septimo, wrapping it up with the Gilgamesh King Sargon, the Emperor, the Churchill size with all those fancy ornate bands on it. After that, we will be beginning the Emperor collection, and that has a couple things. This is a little sneak peek of what we'll be smoking. So definitely looking forward to that as well. Also, one last thing before we wrap up here. I had posted a video about, I think 2 weeks ago, of the Padron 5000 series Maduro. That video had a restriction posted on it, and I believe I posted a short on it. So if you want me to review the Padron 5000 again, if you couldn't see it or there's any issues with that, comment down below and I will review the Padron 5000 again. I have no problem doing that. I really enjoy that cigar, and I have multiple of them in my humidor because I like them that much, especially for the price point. On that note, I think that's going to conclude it for tonight's video. Hopefully you enjoy... That's loud. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's video. Hopefully you have some time to sit down, smoke a cigar, and look back and relax. I think that's going to do it. Like I said, hopefully you enjoy the video. If you have not subscribed, be sure to do that. I always appreciate a comment and a like. And most likely, I will see you guys tomorrow with another cigar review. Hang in there and have a good evening, day, or night.